the last video, we learned how to create a root screen for our application. Now let's go ahead and try and navigate between screens. So we've got a welcome screen. Let's add two buttons to this screen. So welcome.js. Here I'm going to import button on the top. I'm just going to remove this text here and I'm just going to use a button. The title for the button is going to be sign in, and we'll create another button here which is going to be sign up. I'm just using a small custom snippet to create these buttons. If you guys want this, I'll add a link to it in the description. Let's save that out and refresh this. We see we get our two buttons. Clicking them just brings up an alert as of now. Let's go ahead and create these two screens. So in our screens folder, with this signin.js, again pull in some boilerplate code and the signup.js. Again, all I'm doing is just displaying the text sign in and sign up. Now how do we navigate from this screen to this sign in screen? From the welcome screen, let's remove this alert and instead let's create a method called this.goToScreen. And let's pass in the screen name here. So it says sign in. And similarly for the sign up button, let's change that to this.goToScreen and pass in the sign up screen. Let's save that out and let's go ahead and create this method. So we'll say go to screen. It takes one parameter, which is the screen name. And here what we need to do is we need to navigate to the particular screen. For that, we need to import in over here navigation from React Native Navigation. Once we have that, we can say navigation.push. Inside this, we need to pass the ID of the current screen. This ID is made automatically available to us by React Native Navigation. So we can access it by saying this.props.component ID. Again, this is available to us automatically by React Native Navigation. So we tell it that this is the current screen ID and the screen we want to go to will be again component. Inside that, we'll put the name of that screen, which will be screen name, and let's save that out. So we've created our two screens, sign in and sign up. We've created a method to go to those screens, but we haven't told React Native Navigation about the screens. So if we come to the index.js, just like we imported welcome here and then registered the screens, we'll have to import sign in and sign up as well. Later on in the future, I'll show you how we can move that to a separate file. So we'll import sign in from screens /sign in. Similarly, I'll just import sign up as well. Then we need to register the two screens. So I'm just going to duplicate this, change the welcome to sign in here and sign up over here. So now React Native Navigation knows that these three screens exist in our navigation stack. Now if we refresh this and click on sign in, we see that our sign in and sign up buttons still do not work. I did this intentionally to show you how React Native Navigation needs to be used to design your stack. If you look here, we had told React Native Navigation to set our root as one component, which was the welcome screen. It believes that our app is only one screen. You will not be able to pass in any more screens to this particular stack. So that means we need to change this up. So let's get rid of our component over here and let me introduce you to the stack navigator. The syntax for that is passing in the stack inside the root. It has to have an ID. For now, we can just give it app stack. And then we need to pass in children, which is an array of objects, and each object will be a screen. The interesting thing is that here we're just going to pass in the first screen. So we'll say component and we'll say name, and like before, we'll point it to the welcome screen. Let's refresh this. So we can see we get our welcome screen. The only difference is we have this header on the top. I'll show you how to customize this header later. Now let's try and click on the sign in button. When we click on the sign in button, we're taken to the sign in screen and we get this back button on the top. Similarly, if we click on the sign up button, we're taken to the sign up screen. So basically we created a stack, though we only passed in one screen to the stack. In the welcome screen, when the user clicks the sign in or sign up button, those particular screens are pushed into the stack. Now let's go ahead and just add a title to our top bar here. For that, we have something known as options that we can pass to the particular component, and inside that, we'll target the top bar. We want to change the title and we want to change the text of the title to welcome. If we refresh that, we see we get the welcome text on the top. There are several other options available which you can check in the documentation, or I'll try and cover it on some other video. Similarly, if you want, we can change the title here for the sign in and here for the sign up screen as well. So this was a quick intro in how to use a stack navigator in React Native Navigation.